Well, hello everybody. So, we got a couple of days off here. I know we're only four shows in, but it's never too soon to take a look at what's been going on. I wanted to say, hey, thank the new people that have recently subscribed. I appreciate you checking out the recaps. It probably won't take too long before I kind of take a big dump on maybe a song you like, and then I'll go a little crazy for a song that maybe you don't care so much for. But don't take anything I say too seriously. I'm a fan just like you. We all probably are gonna like different stuff. I'm no Phish expert. Like I said, I'm just a fan. Just like to listen and get on YouTube and talk about it. Some people don't really enjoy that so much. They're like, man, why do you have to talk about every show? I don't know, man. It's just what I'm doing at this point. And I do really love the band. Some nights it may not seem that way, but for sure I do. So, like I said, thanks for subscribing. Hopefully you stick around. We'll be here doing this all summer. And mostly, like I said, I'm not really doing like a review here. Maybe some nights I get a little more critical than I should. But really, it's almost like I'm talking to a friend who did not catch the show last night. I'm just filling them in on what happened. That's sort of like that's the idea behind my recaps. I try to keep it in the spirit of Phish. It's mostly improvised. I have some ideas of what I'm going to say going in. They'll try to make the whiteboards a little different every night, similar to the shows, although the shows have been getting a lot different. Maybe we'll just start there. We're only four shows in, but I feel like the first two shows had a very familiar format, playing a lot of songs that are heavy in the rotation. And then the next two nights, we got something totally different. Like first sets full of songs. The one night it was songs just on the edge of the rotation. The next night, last night in Michigan or Pittsburgh, they were Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That is not Michigan. Another state. See, I'm thinking Steelers, Michigan football teams. I'm really not a fan of. They there were some songs on the edge of rotation, and then there were some songs completely out of the rotation. Over 100 show gap. But then when we move over to the second set, get some more familiar songs. Usually starting the strong. Actually, the sets have not been starting so strong. Last night, the You Enjoy Myself second set opener was great. But the previous nights, I just feel like the second set opener has not really been hitting. And one night I was sampling a jar, bouncing around the room. One night Drift While You're Sleeping. I mean, that was a poor choice. Then look, people told me they like Drift While You're Sleeping. I don't know. I just have never been a fan of that song. Drift While You're Sleeping, and then the other one. There's another one. It has like a little companion song that I can't really tolerate much either. Usually played late in the second set. Trey likes to think it's like the modern Slave to the Traffic Light. What is that damn song? You know what I'm talking about. It's not Drift While You're Sleeping. It's I don't know. I never even think of the damn title. That's how little I like that song. So then there's always some stuff I forget to mention too. Some nights I even write down a note. Like I really enjoyed the Meat outro the night that they played Meat, and then there was no mention of it. The telephone ring was non-existent in Wolfman's Brother. Although last night I didn't forget. I kind of missed the. Apparently there was a near fail by Trey on the trampolines. I was giving it one of these deals, grinding up a nug, getting ready to stuff it in the bong, and I heard like a roar from the crowd. And when I looked up, they were bouncing around on the trampolines. See, I was the complete opposite. I thought maybe they were particularly in sync, and the crowd cheered in approval. But it turns out Trey nearly went off of the tramp, but pulled it together to the crowd's approval. And then there's always songs that I probably should have given more love to on a second listen. I'm like that Oblivion the other night. I think as I was going through the whiteboard recap, I kind of mentioned it or whatever, but I didn't go crazy for it. Like, it was pretty good. It was actually really good. That maybe the wedge also in that first set was really strong. Then there was, I always wanted it this way. I think last night I got a little too hung up on placement. Like, that shouldn't matter at all. But I did. So, maybe before I even gave it a chance, I had already kind of poo-pooed it. Like, what are they doing playing this one this so early in the show? This doesn't make any sense. It was actually a pretty strong. I always wanted it this way. The tweezer that was post Pillow Jets. Maybe I gave Pillow Jets a little too much credit. And then, but other than that, I haven't missed a lot. I think the songs like Stash, I was a huge fan of that Stash. I've probably listened to it 4 or 5 times now. Have not had the time to listen to the complete What's Going Through Your Mind from last night, but I'm sure at some point I'll have to. And what was another thing? That theme from the bottom was good, but not great. The Ghost last night very strong, I thought. So there's only been a couple that I wish I had back. Yeah, mostly that I always wanted it this way: the Oblivion, the Wedge, and the Post Pillow Jets tweezer. So I guess that's really about it. We're only a few shows in. It'll take them a little. Some nights, like last spring, I believe in Mexico, our most recent runs of shows, they came out of the gate pretty hot. These shows have been a little up and down. Still mostly good, but not just fire from beginning to end. There's been a set, even the first sets with the, like someone was saying, they felt like the first set last night, they were just forcing in a bunch of songs that they wanted to play. And some nights I get that feeling, but I didn't really get that feeling last night. Maybe it took them, the three obvious bust outs, but I feel like time they got to Faulty Plan, which is one of the songs that normally you get an eye roll from me from stealing time from the Faulty Plan, but I thought it delivered a pretty good version last night. Yamar's always usually pretty strong. The Gumbo, while maybe, obviously not the greatest jam of this summer, it was, I think people have been wanting a jammed out Gumbo. We got that. And then, okay, the Walls of the Cave set closer's a bit played out, but I thought last night's first set, Dog Stole Things. At first I thought it was a Steelers reference, and I realized, it's a different kind of steel. Stole, steal, Steelers, I don't know. It's the steel industry, though. No, they're not Steelers. They're not thieves. The Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, so I guess that's it. Just say thank you again to everybody that's been watching the recaps. Thank you to everybody that's been playing along with the picks. I have not checked out last night. I think when I'm finished with this video, that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through yesterday's picks. So far, nobody's had a real outstanding night. Spud and Brent hit an opener one night. I think somebody might have hit an opener last night. In fact, I'm almost sure someone hit the opener last night. I don't believe it was Spud. Spud was calling AC/DC Bag, then he pivoted to Jim, and he hit Jim. Maybe Spud went back to AC/DC Bag last night. So, and then overall, the pick five. I finally hit a three, all three in the second set, too. That was rare. It is rare that I hit three in the second set. Most of my correct picks will come from the first set, and then maybe I'll get lucky and get one in the second set. Don't ask me how that turns out, but first sets just seemed more predictable until the last two shows. These last two shows have made the picks much more difficult, I feel. A lot of ones and twos. I somehow snuck in a three last night. Blaze On, YEM, and What's Going Through Your Mind. I still have not hit an opener, and I still have not hit a long shot. But probably for the last time, I will brag about. Did you guys know back in the spring, I called the Taste Encore? Not even calling any encores anymore. Just retired it after that. Never in the history of the band had they encored it, and I called it on record. Boom. All right, I promise that's the last time I brag about that. We're out of here. Thank you all for watching and playing along, and let's go fish.